Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please do hit the subscription button so that you do not miss on any upcoming uploads. In this video, I want to show you how to configure your EFI partition for the Dell E7240 so that you can be able to install the latest version of macOS Big Sur or macOS 11. So as you can see, my Dell E7240 is currently working very perfect, running the latest macOS. So basically I will be walking you through the configurations for the EFI, the config.plist, and some of the files that you require for it to work. This version of macOS is very amazing. It has a lot of new features that were not there in other versions of macOS. For example, now you can slide over to change the display. You do the same for the sound, and also the icons. They have been refined to have a similar look to that of the iPhones, and everything looks nice. So the Wi-Fi is also working, as you can see. Let's try and do a Google search. Yes, it's perfectly working. Bluetooth is also working. The trackpad is working as well. Dell E7240 runs on an Intel Core i5 4th generation or Haswell, and it has Intel HD graphics 4400. So if you have a similar laptop, then you can easily replicate my EFI, as I will show you, for you to install this version of macOS. And in addition, you need to download the latest version of Opencore. I'm currently using Opencore 0.6. Yes, Opencore 0.6. It's the one that currently has support for macOS Big Sur. So without wasting time, let's look at my EFI. I just want you to replicate everything if your laptop is similar to mine. So this is my EFI partition, and these are the folders. So I'm dual booting Windows with macOS. That's why I have this Microsoft folder. It has boot files for my Windows 10. So for the OC folder, the most important files to ensure that you have for E7240, for ACPIs. Let me just rearrange these files. Yes. So you'll need a number of SSDTs to ensure that everything from displays to sound, for everything to work, you'll need all these SSDTs. For example, this one ensures that the sound works. This one is for the power, that is SSDT plug. Also we have SSDT PNLF, which is for display, and also SSDT.EC and SSDT HPT. For any Haswell laptop, you'll need SSDT-EC, SSDT-HPT, SSDT plug, SSDT PNLF. Yes, those are very necessary. However, these other ones, the three, depends with some specifications. For example, because my hardware, the sound system, requires ALC292 for it to work, and also the trackpad I'm using Alps, because I'm using Alps, so I'll need this one together with Dr. Hart's Kext, the Voodoo PS2 modified by Dr. Hart for the trackpad to work. So ensure that you have all these SSDTs placed in your ACPI folder. Then for the drivers, the other drivers that we had in other releases of Opencore have now been bundled. They are now part of the Opencore, and therefore the only two very necessary drivers are hsplus.efi and open runtime ef.efi. These two are a must for you to boot for the Opencore to boot. Open Canopy is necessary for the boot icons to be loaded. So if you want to have boot icons, then it must be placed in your drivers folder. Yes. And for the Kext, I have quite a good number of them. So you can just download the latest versions of all these Kexts if you're running a similar laptop. But the most important ones, the most necessary ones are Lilu. Yes, Lilu, you must have Lilu, and whatever green. Yes, Lilu, whatever green, and virtual SMC. These ones ensures that your laptop is able to boot. However, these other ones are just supporting the system to ensure that all other features are enabled. So for the trackpad, specifically want to talk about the trackpad because it has been troublesome in other versions, specifically because we are using Alps, which doesn't have a lot of support for Opencore. So this is Dr. Hart's refined Voodoo PS2 controller revision 6, but as you can see, I have renamed it to Voodoo PS2 controller. So for it to be loaded by Opencore, you'll need to rename it so that you remove the R6. If you have it as Voodoo PS2 controller R6, then the Opencore it will not boot. So ensure that it is renamed, and another important text is this one here. It's for Intel Wi-Fi cards. So if you're using an Intel Wi-Fi card, it's not supported. It's not supported by macOS, and therefore there has been a workaround to ensure that it's working. So you will need to download this text, and also these ones for Bluetooth. So you'll need the 3 placed in your text folder, and then you'll need an app for controlling Wi-Fi. This one here, it's called Heliport. So you place the text in your text folder, and then this one you place it in applications folder. So guys, as you can see, it has been documented. So there is an explanation on how to go about it. You can Google search and enable your Wi-Fi if you have an Intel Wi-Fi. The tools folder can be left empty. So let's try and have a look at how the config.plist looks like. So you'll need to open it. You can use either you can use an Opencore configurator. or even property, but let me use this. So for the ACPI, ensure that all your ACPIs in the ACPI folder are added in the config.plist and are all enabled. Yes. So all of them are currently enabled. These are some of the patches. I've tested both the patches and SSDT EC, and either of them works perfectly. So you can either include this patch instead of generating the SSDT EC. So any of them perfectly boots the laptop. The patches you can easily generate using the SSDT time. For the, you can use even Windows to generate all of them, or you can also use the app on Mac to generate those ACPIs. So for the quirks under ACPIs, all of them need to be a no, and under booter, the quirks, so just ensure that they're all the same. If your graphics card is Intel 4400, then Dell HD 4400, then under device properties you need to add a device layout, a device ID layout, or device ID. So want this one. Yes, if you do not add this device ID, then your graphics card will not work. Under kernel, ensure that all your text are loaded and enabled. The first one should be Lilo. Lilo should be the first text. and kernels. It should be the first one to be loaded when the OS tries to boot. Then the virtual SMC kext, then whatever green. Those are very important kexts for the OS to boot. So just ensure that all your kexts are loaded and enabled. Otherwise, some of the features will not work properly. Again, the quirks. So ensure that these ones are the same. For picker mode, it can be built in, but for you to use the boot icons, then it needs to be external. So this one can be changed later on after you've configured your resources list in the OC folder. You can just let it be built in for now. For security, ensure that vault is optional, otherwise it will not load. Under NVRAM, you need to identify your audio layout ID. So for mine it's 12. This overrides any other configurations for sound to ensure that the audio plays. Also for platform information, ensure that you generate your serial numbers and UUID and place them under generic. Also ensure that all the drivers are loaded. We're having 3: Open Runtime, HFS Plus, and Open Canopy. So that's all, guys. As you can see, the laptop is working perfectly. Everything is okay, everything is fine. I really like it. So if you follow the procedure and ensure that your config.plist is properly configured, then you'll really get it to work. But if you're having any challenges, you can leave a comment so that I can see how to help you. Or also, if you want me to share my EFI, if you have the same model of the laptop, then you can just let me know. I'll surely share it with you so that you can use it to boot your laptop. So thank you for watching, and do subscribe and like my video to support me. Siri, play Jerusalem on YouTube.
Here are some videos of Jerusalem I found on the web. Imperial Leather, in partnership with Rotary, has come together to offer support within the low-income